The Walt Disney World Skyliner has made it an incredibly easy choice to stay at one of the 4 resorts that the Skyliner calls home. The hard decision? Trying to decide which of those 4 resorts you should stay at, because you're talking about 4 incredibly different experiences. In the end, it comes down to a few key choices when I am thinking about my trip that really helps me to decide whether to stay at Disney's Pop Century, Art of Animation, Caribbean Beach, or Riviera Resort. That's the story this week.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome.
Welcome back to the Bear's Den. When the Walt Disney World Skyliner opened in fall of 2019, the 4 resorts that added Skyliner stations immediately became easy choices when I was trying to decide where to stay on property. The simple reason is because of the access to Epcot and Disney's Hollywood Studios becoming so much easier with the Skyliner from these resorts. The hard choice is deciding which resort out of the 4 do you actually choose to stay at. Now, real quick, after this video, if you're looking for other information about choosing the right Disney World resort for your trip, you can get a lot from the members in our community that just launched on January 31st by going to members.bearsavvytravels.com. This community is dedicated to helping you stay connected to Walt Disney World even when you're not there, and you can find more help with planning your next Walt Disney World trip. But probably the most important question to ask when deciding between the Skyliner resorts, and really the first one to consider, because at the end of the day, we have 4 resorts in very different budget ranges, is going to be what is my budget. Along the Skyliner, we first have 2 value-ish resorts in Pop Century and Art of Animation. The reason I say value-ish is because Art of Animation is closer to moderate pricing because of the family suites at this resort. At the end of the day though, these 2 will be the least expensive of the 4. Next, we have 1 true moderate in Caribbean Beach and 1 deluxe resort with Disney's Riviera Resort. If my budget is most important to me while planning my visit, all I need to do is pick the resort along the Walt Disney World Skyliner that fits that budget, and I'm done. Choice made. But if my budget is more flexible, that is when I move to the next question. Now, this is more important to consider than you would probably think, and there is good reason why I always ask this question second. When I started visiting Walt Disney World every year, the resort I was staying at was very much just a place to sleep and take a shower. Most of our time was spent in the parks or at Disney Springs. This meant that the resort amenities mattered less to me because I simply wasn't at the resort to use them. So think about how much time you are going to be spending at the resort, because if you really just need a place to sleep and shower and jump in the pool once in a while, save your money and go with either Art of Animation or Pop Century. Now, question 3 is always, how many people am I with? And how long will it take to go from the resort to the parks with that amount of people? My early years of coming to Walt Disney World included pretty large groups of friends. I think the most we had here one year was close to 20 fully grown adults. I have also done several trips where it was only myself and 1 other person, or maybe 2 other people at most. What I learned in those trips, specifically about Disney World transportation, is that the more people you are with, the more time it takes to use Disney World transportation. So when you're thinking about which resort to stay at, you need to consider where are you going to spend most of your time. And then you need to consider how long it will take to go from the resort to wherever that is with the number of people you have. Because each resort is going to have different factors that affect the amount of time it takes to travel using the Skyliner. To learn more about the experience with the Disney Skyliner from each of the 4 Skyliner resorts, you can click on the playlist that's on the screen right now, and remember, there's a great big beautiful tomorrow.